Hi, I'm sure you've had that terrible feeling when you have a friend who's feeling bad and you're asking yourself, what do I do? What do I do? I don't want to say the wrong thing. And it's so easy, when they're feeling bad to, try and help, and then they seem to get even worse. And a lot of the common accepted wisdom nowadays is that what you're supposed to do is to validate their emotions. You're supposed to be a good listener. You're supposed to repeat back and mirror back what they're saying. And, if they're saying, oh, I feel so bad, you say, oh yeah, like it's understandable that you feel that way. And I think this is wrong. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong all the time. What I'm saying is that each person has different ways that they like to be comforted. And this is one of multiple ways that you can comfort somebody. And while it works for some people, it doesn't work well for others. It's trying to put a solution, one size fits all solution onto something as variable as human beings, which does not work. So I'm going to explain to you what I think is going on and give you some solutions to it. So what I think is going on is that you can kind of frame it as that it's like love languages. So like there's the 5 ways that people can like to express love and feel loved. And likewise, there are different ways that people like to be comforted. So I'm calling them the 5 comfort languages. Hopefully there's no trademark going on there with 5 languages. Sorry if there is, I can change that. So the 5 comfort languages are being heard, validated, optimism and kind of pep talks, problem solving, distraction, and physical. So I'm going to go through all of them. So starting off with being heard. This is definitely one of them. So lots of people really like to feel heard. They just want somebody to listen and be there. It can even just be that they just sit there while the person cries and they're just there for them. And if you try and, problem solve or whatever, they'll often get really upset. This is a really common thing. Because some people have the problem solving comfort language, which is that they don't want you to listen. They want you to help, right? Talk is cheap. They're like, the problem is still here. I can't feel better until I have some way of, like, some hope of solving the problem. And so these people's different comfort languages will often conflict with each other. It's a lot like how often 2 different love languages of quality time and acts of service can conflict, where somebody will go to the office and work super hard to try and support the family, and they're saying, look, I love you so much, and the person whose love language is quality time is saying, well, not really, because you're not spending any time with me. And likewise with, if you have the comfort language of problem solving, it can often be very frustrating to just have somebody listening to you. And it's even more frustrating if your comfort language is being heard, to have somebody jump right into problem solving. So these are 2 different comfort languages that often will conflict with each other. Another is giving pep talks. So I myself have the comfort language of, I need pep talks. I need somebody to tell me, you got this. It's not that hard, and all that sort of stuff. And the conflict with this is sometimes that somebody will go in and they'll have learned that what you're supposed to do is validate their emotions and be a good listener and everything. So I'll come in and say, this person did this at work, right? And the person says, yeah, everybody would be frustrated with that. And I'm like, you're right. This is really bad, right? And this just makes it worse. It's really analogous to, there's the common thing that happens where a toddler will be toddling around and then fall over. And he'll look to his parents. And if his parents are just like, nah, whatever, then the kid brushes himself off and keeps going. And but if the parents are really concerned and like, oh no, then toddler bursts into tears. Alas, I am like this toddler. And many people are like that. So what they need to hear is a pep talk. They need to be told good things about them. Oh, your EQ is really going to get you through this, or, you're a really hard worker. Don't worry, it'll work out. So this is the 3rd. The 4th is distraction. This is pretty straightforward. You just need to be distracted, right? When you're feeling down, you just need to distract yourself, get out of, this thing. So it can just be something like, watching a movie. It can be watching a movie. It can be, talking about just anything else, making lots of jokes. It could be going for a jog, whatever it is that gets you out of your funk, not thinking about it. And the 5th is physical. So the most obvious thing that can happen with this is hugs. If it's appropriate, you can have cuddles. But it can also be a lot of things like bringing somebody tea in a blanket, or bringing them a pint of ice cream or a big bag of chips. So things that can basically be a physical comfort. And this actually also can be going for a jog. This kind of goes with the distraction thing too, is it can just get your physiology into out of this, stressed or sad mentality. Which brings me, you might be thinking, that doesn't sound like a comfort language. That sounds like an avoidance language. And this is definitely something that you want to use as just the initial phase. So this is when you're feeling bad and you want to feel better, right? But the next step after you feel better is to problem solve. So as long as this is something that's like a recurring problem that's worth solving, if you just spilt your latte or stubbed your toe, like it's fine. Like you can just ignore it, unless you're stubbing your toe a lot, and then maybe you want to get that checked out, or rearrange your furniture or something. So always after this, you should be problem solving because you don't want it to become an avoidance language. So I want you to try and think now about, what do you think your comfort language is? Most people have one or two. Lots of these will work at various points, but sometimes there's some that never work. Like some people never ever want to problem solve when they're sad, or at least they shouldn't because they're not thinking clearly. And then other people just always want to have, I don't know, ice cream or something. So just think about what yours are. And then what you can do is you can tell your loved ones before you're upset that this is the way to comfort you. And this can really help, right? So then they know in advance and they know what not to do. And you can also tell them when it's happening. I think one of the best ways to feel better and to get help from people around you is just tell people what you want. So I'll often say, to my loved one, I'm like, I need hugs and tea. Can you go make me tea and then give me a hug? And that works. That's great. Then they know what to do. Another thing you can do is you can ask your loved ones in advance as well. So you can, send them this video or just explain it to them and say, hey, I learned about the comfort languages. What are yours? What are the things that you'd like me to do, or you like that you find works for you? And what are things that you definitely don't want me to do? And you can also ask them in the middle of the crisis if you need to. I recommend to just give people some options, because often when you're feeling upset, it's really like, so first just ask them, open-ended question, what can I do to help, right? What do you want from me? Like, don't say, what do you want from me? What can I do to help? But if they're too upset to think of something, often they're like, I don't know, then just give them a few options. Say, oh, do you just want me to listen? Do you want me to help you solve the problem? Just want a hug, right? And often people will just be able to tell you. So there you go. You've got the 5 comfort languages, which is being heard, optimism, problem solving, distraction, and physical stuff. And hopefully this helps you out. And next time that you're trying to comfort somebody, you'll know what to do.